Picture this. It's 1956, Port Newark, New Jersey. A trucking guy named Malcom McLean watches teams of longshoremen spend days, literally days, loading cargo onto a ship piece by painful piece. He has this idea, a kind of ridiculously simple idea. What if you just put everything in a big metal box and lifted the whole box? On April 26 of that year, he does it. A ship called the Ideal X sails off carrying 58 big, ugly containers. And just like that, the world changes. Before that moment, loading a single ton of cargo cost about $5.86. Now, that sounds cheap, but think about it this way. Back then, the federal minimum wage was $1 an hour. So loading 1 ton took almost 6 hours of a man's wages. After McLean's box, the cost dropped to 16 cents a ton. 16 cents. The work of 6 hours could now be done in minutes. In today's money, that's like the price of the job falling from $70 to $2. A 97% price collapse. That's not just an improvement, that's a revolution that made distance cheap and your Amazon Prime addiction possible. If McLean invented the box, a Danish company named Maersk perfected the system. They started buying up the pioneers, like McLean's old company in 1999, for $800 million.
Then, in 2017, they snapped up a German rival for 3.7 billion euros. They built an empire of steel. And during the pandemic, that empire cashed in. While we were all stuck at home ordering everything from standing desks to sourdough starters, Maersk was having the best years of its life. In 2022, they posted a net profit of nearly $29 billion. Billion with a B. And you paid for it. Remember when shipping a container from Shanghai to Los Angeles suddenly cost more than a used car? In 2021, that single 40-foot box hit a spot price over $10,000. That cost didn't just stay at the port. It showed up in the price of your gym equipment, your kids' toys, everything. Then the whiplash. By last week, that same box cost about $1,651. A classic boom and bust cycle that first fueled inflation and then gave us a little relief. But here's the secret life of these boxes. They get smart. Maersk's refrigerated containers now have a virtual assistant called Captain Peter that monitors temperature and humidity, making sure your fancy imported cheese doesn't spoil. A little ironic since their big high-tech blockchain project with IBM called TradeLens completely failed. Nobody wanted to use it. Turns out a simple box is harder to disrupt than you'd think. And the costs just keep hiding in plain sight. You'd assume these containers are always full of stuff, right? Wrong. About 41% of all container travel is just empty boxes being moved back to where they need to be. A massive, fuel-burning, expensive shuffle of empty air that's a quiet tax on everything we buy. Then there's geopolitics. Since late 2023, attacks in the Red Sea have forced ships to take the long way around Africa, adding a week or two and hundreds of dollars to the cost of each box. Even now, carriers are nervous about going back through the Suez Canal, the world's supply chain held hostage by a handful of militants. And sometimes the ocean just keeps a box. Out of 250 million containers shipped each year, a few go overboard. In 2024, the count was 576. A tiny number, but a stark reminder that this whole system, this engine of our modern economy, still depends on a steel box surviving a storm in the middle of the ocean. So the next time you see a Maersk container on a truck or a train, remember its story. It's not just a box. It's the reason that loading dock job from 1956 barely exists. It's the reason for the inflation spike in 2021. It's a pawn in global conflicts. It's the quiet, corrugated steel infrastructure of your entire life, hiding in plain sight. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Take a look at this following one. You will find it interesting too.